Hello again and welcome to Shed Talk, my weekly magazine video series looking at the keeping, breeding and showing of cage birds, with a particular focus as usual on the exhibition style budgerigar. So as I said in the last episode, these next couple of episodes are going to be slightly shorter than usual, just because of work commitments. So in this episode what we're going to do is we're going to look at two cages that are a little bit different. So they both got chicks in, but one is progressing really well and the other not quite so well, I must say, not quite so well. And I think you know which one that is from the title of this video. We'll start off with that one then, the one that's not doing quite so well, just so we can finish on a high. Right, let's have a look at cage number 5, those troublesome Lutinos. So cage number 5, well this really is turning out to be a bit of a disastrous cage for me at the moment. You might remember in the last, or a couple of episodes ago, I spoke about this hen being a real problem in terms of her kicking the bedding out, no matter how much I put in there, and it's interfering with the eggs and stuff. Well, I did top it up a little bit, as I think I said I was going to do. And then what did she go and do? So she kicked the bedding that I put in there out, and along with that decided to eject the last of the 2 full eggs out of the nest box at the same time. So was that my fault? I guess in hindsight, yes. I knew she was a bit of a fiddler, and I knew that she didn't like there being very much bedding in the nest box, but I really was not expecting her to get rid of the eggs out of the nest box at the same time. And then to top it all off, what's she doing now? She's sitting really tight on the youngsters, and consequently the oldest of those 2 youngsters looks like it's going to have splayed legs. So I really don't know what to do here. I know somebody commented recently about would it have helped if I had put a concave in there. I'm beginning to think, you know, I've never really had this problem before, but I am beginning to think that I do need to get some concave for when this happens. And you know, with a concave in there, would that have given the chick a little bit additional protection? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I really don't know whether that extra little bit of depth of the concave would have protected the youngster a little bit more. I think I am going to have to get some concaves, and in this case I probably would have I could have put one in there and seen whether it helped a little bit. What I will do is, as this chick gets just a little bit older, when I know the rings are going to be able to stay on, is I will ring the oldest chick. I'll put a ring on each leg, and I will tie the 2 rings together to try and close the legs up a little bit, and hope that saves this youngster from having splayed legs, but I'm not sure it will do. The youngest one, because the oldest one is taking most of the weight, I think the youngest one is actually being able to survive the impact of having a hen that is sitting a bit close or a bit tight, but we'll have to wait and see. So really, cage number 5 is turning into, like I say, what I can only describe as a bit of a disaster. So that's cage number 5. Let's move on to, as I say, there's a bit more success of what's going on in cage number 2. So on a slightly more upbeat note then, we'll talk about cage number 1. I think I said cage number 2, I meant cage number 1. Yeah, these have been going really well. So we've got 2 chicks in this nest box, and so far they're both looking very healthy, coming on really nicely. The oldest one, it's like it's going to be a cinnamon opaline grey from the looks of it, and the second of the chicks looks like it's going to be a cinnamon opaline grey green from the looks of it. So we've got one of each there. I think a couple of episodes ago I said I thought they were both going to be cinnamon, but missed out the fact that I thought they were opaline, and someone mentioned it in the comments that they thought they both looked very opaline. I think it was either in the comments of the YouTube channel or across on the Facebook page or the other various bits of social media that I put the bits and pieces out on anyway. So thanks for mentioning that they're opaline. Both, of course, both the hen and the cockbird are opaline, so it's fairly obvious that they're going to be opaline. But they both have both chicks seem to have the pinkish eyes, or plumage coloured eyes, should I say, of the cinnamon, and both have got fairly pinkish coloured feet, which also I think would indicate that they're cinnamon as well. So I think they're both going to be cinnamon, but the youngest one we might have to wait till it gets a little bit older to finally confirm that. So both these two chicks going really well. We just need to wait and see whether they are going to be either cockbirds or hens. Of course, if they're cockbirds, they will be split for Ino. If not, then they will just be opaline cinnamon. So without the split for the Ino gene, anyway, or the Eno gene. Anyway, so that's a bit more upbeat there in terms of cage number cage number 1. We do have some full eggs in at least one of the other cages that should be due to hatch fairly shortly, but the remainder of the cages are in that in-between phase now, so we'll talk a bit more about those in the next episode. Right, there we go, cage number 1 finishing on a high. Well, that is just about all we've got time for in this video. As usual, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. They always help the just help the channel generally get it more views, the more people looking at bird keeping. And if you're not yet a subscriber, please do subscribe to the channel, and if you want early notifications, don't forget to hit the bell. In the next episode, what I want to try and do is have a look at how I'm planning to deal with that youngster in cage number 5 that looks like it's got the splayed legs, and my attempt at trying to rectify that. But that will be in the next episode. Until then, as always, do stay safe and enjoy your birds.